Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a review on another drugstore product. I've been on kind of like a drugstore kick lately. I find recently a lot of really great products have been rolling out at the drugstore. I actually have another product that I'm really excited for, but I won't give away any spoilers. But today we are reviewing the new Revlon Colorstay. This is the full cover foundation. So we're doing a full review and demo of this foundation today, and hint, hint, I'm really excited about it. So anyways, if you want to hear my thoughts on this foundation here, then just keep on watching. All right, let's just dive right in. I'm hoping I'm not going to overheat. I have my coffee here as well, so that's not going to help. Okay, so jumping right in, we are of course doing a full first impressions and review on the Colorstay Full Cover Foundation. This is a matte foundation, which is really neat. It comes in a squeezy tube just like this. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I have a love-hate relationship with squeezy tubes. I really do like them. I feel like if a company is not gonna have a pump on their foundation, skip the glass, just have a squeezy tube. Like, it's one or the other. But the one con to a squeezy tube is that I find that it's even more difficult to select a shade when you're in store, because, you know, you can't really tell what shade this is by this coloring, you know what I mean, because it's not see-through. Sometimes squeezy tube bottles will have kind of a see-through area where you can see the product, but even at that, sometimes it's hard to even tell if it's see-through or if it's just the color being displayed. So that's the one con, but otherwise the packaging's great. It's just a twist-off cap. Mine still has a little kind of aluminum protection on it, so I'm just gonna peel that off. I went with the shade 220 Natural Beige, 210 Buff Beige, I believe it was, or Sand Beige. I'll list it here below. I swatched that one on the back of my hand and it looked very light on my hand, so I figured I'd go with the 220 Natural Beige. Usually names that have the word natural and beige in them end up being my shade, so I'm not too concerned. Let me know down below what you guys prefer. When I'm reviewing a foundation, do you want me to review it and give you my opinion on it with no primer, or a primer that I typically use in all my videos? Like, I'm trying to figure out what is the best method. I mean, it's a rare occasion, and usually the occasion is me forgetting that I don't wear a primer, so I usually always prime. That being said, since this is a matte finish foundation, I'm going to use this one here. This is Makeup Forever Step 1. This is the hydrating primer. I really like this stuff. I find it works really, really well. I just take a small amount and distribute it kind of all over my T-zone, my forehead, not too much on my forehead because that is typically where I get the most oily, around my nose, and I just kind of push it into the skin. I feel like I need to do an updated morning routine because, you know, your mornings always change depending on the season, depending on what day of the week it is, honestly. Like, my Saturday morning is way different than my Monday morning, that's for sure. Even my Monday to Thursday is different. I'll be honest, Mondays are a little bit more rough. So lately I've been really loving this brush here. This is a Sigma 3D HD kabuki. Any flat kabuki brush I've been honestly a fan of lately. I've been really liking brushes as opposed to sponges lately. That is totally unlike me, but I've just been going down that route. So, okay, here we go. Okay, so it is a little bit thicker of a consistency. Ooh, but not that bad. It's not too moussey. It's actually quite silky, I feel like is the right word. So as you can see, it blended really nicely into the back of my hand. One thing that I'm a little nervous about is that it has a little bit of pink tone to it. So I'm hoping a lot of pink tone. Oh boy. Okay, I'm hoping that's not gonna be too big of an issue. Just putting what was on the back of my hand on my chin. It's not looking bad. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. So I'm just taking a small amount like this and I'm gonna dot it, I think, on my face. Oh wow, I have not worked with a foundation this kind of consistency in so long. I'm just gonna do one half of my face and then. So what I like about this brush is I just like push into the skin and kind of blend. So push and blend, push and blend. And I find it distributes the product really nicely on the face. So color match wise, it's not that bad. It's a little bit more pink than I had wanted, but that's okay. I usually like just having a neutral undertone to my foundations. I mean, warm is fine, olive is fine, and it works for me, but I find in the winter I lose a lot of my olive complexion. Like you can see on camera, this is really not looking like it's my color at all, but we're gonna make it work. The beauty of foundation is that sometimes concealer and your powders can really help it, but this one's gonna need a little bit of a drag down the neck. Color, I think we've can see that it's not a perfect match, but I'm really liking the way it applied. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was really quick. That was probably like 20 to 25 seconds on one face with this brush. The brush does a really great job of distributing the product very nicely and evenly on the face. So it was very effortless for me to have to wonder, okay, does this area have product versus that? You know what I mean? Like it distributes really, really, really well. I find that this is a really nice medium coverage in my opinion. I still, as you guys know, really like showing some of my freckles and some of my birthmarks. A lot of them do get covered and that's okay. I mean, that's inevitable with wearing foundation, that's fine. But I do find that it did a really great job of covering up any redness and then some of the smaller freckles, especially in the nose area. Just again, this is one layer of the foundation and this is none. So you can see like there's a lot of redness in here. You guys, thank God, can't see too much of this, but on my nose area, I have a lot of, what are they called? Broken capillaries? I think that's what it's called, from squeezing blackheads and stuff like that. It's really bad, don't do that. So I have a lot of kind of like veiny looking areas in this region that got covered up really nicely over here. That is probably my hardest area on my face to keep covered during the day because I touch my nose so much. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply one layer of the foundation on this side. About that much seemed to work. It looks like just like a dime amount. I'm gonna try dipping the brush into the foundation and applying it this way to see, because I find that a little bit faster and less messy. Okay, this is also a great method I'm finding. I'm not having any issues. I'm actually saving product. I'm not using it all. So that's nice. This is one complete layer of the foundation on my skin. I'm actually really into it. I like the way it applied with this brush. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning, I really am a huge fan of this brush right now. I've been using it every single day as opposed to my beauty blender, which is unheard of. So I'm really liking this combination of application. Was nice. Yeah, so I'm really liking it. The one down, like as you can see, like on my neck, it's not like it's a horrible match or anything. It's just not very warm. It's very neutral, a little bit pink. So it's kind of not sitting that that well. I'm gonna let it sit in for 10 minutes and then do the rest of my makeup and hop back on camera. I just want to see if it oxidizes at all within 10 minutes. Sometimes foundations take a couple of hours to fully oxidize, so I will let you know about that because I feel like it might. Yeah, so I'm gonna hop off camera, finish my makeup, and I will be back to update you guys. I zoomed you guys out. I now have the foundation and all the rest of my makeup on, and I'm really, really into how it's looking. I knew that the color wasn't that off. It was just a smidgen pink, but I knew that with a little bit of bronzer, concealer, and blush that it would really come together, and I'm really liking it. It's very matte on the skin. It dries quickly, but I don't mind that, especially for every day because I work in an office environment. I have naturally oily skin with kind of some dry areas, aka right around my nose. So it's really nice to have good matte foundations that are quick to apply, because a lot of the times I find that matte foundations are difficult to work with because they dry so quickly and they're not as easy to move around onto the face. But this one really did apply quickly. I think one side of my face took 25 seconds, which was with the 3D HD kabuki brush from Sigma. Again, I do feel that any kabuki brush would really work well with this foundation. I will tomorrow try this foundation with a beauty blender and let you guys know down below in the description bar how that worked. But I feel as though it wouldn't be as good of a combination just because a beauty blender tends to shear out foundations a little bit, and I think that this one gives a really, really nice medium coverage but matte coverage. So I really like it. I'm actually really, really digging it. Anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit further about the foundation. So we already talked about the packaging, we already talked about, you know, how it applies, all that good stuff, but let's talk about a few other very important things like price. So, you know, I've been talking about this quite a bit on my channel about how drugstore products are increasing their price with, you know, pretty much everything in the world is just always increasing. But I do find that the quality is getting better. So on Ulta's website, this one does go for $18.44 Canadian, which is about $13 US. I do think that that is not a horrible price. I mean, it used to be the case where you could get a foundation at the drugstore for under $10 Canadian, and there are some foundations that you can still get at the drugstore for that price, but on average, they tend to lie between the $15 to $25 mark, I've been finding. That being said, I think I talked about this as well in my last video, but I like to go find yourself a really good Walmart that has a great cosmetic section and make it your keeper, because that's where I purchased mine and it was $16.99. So that, I mean, yeah, $1.40, is that really gonna make a difference? Well, it does in the long grand scheme of things when you're buying makeup consistently, okay? If you wanna save yourself a couple of dollars or you just wanna get the best bang for your buck, then head to Walmart, because this was $16.99, not even on sale. So that goes to show that Ulta's prices are a little bit more expensive, as well as Shoppers Drug Mart, I find. So just so you guys know, the other shade I was looking at was Sand Beige 210, and that one looked way too light. Again, even this one was a little bit light. So if you're about an NC 25, NC 30, you can try the 220, but I would even recommend going up to medium beige, which is 240, especially if you're a little bit more on the olive tone side, because this one here was quite neutral to pink. Definitely keep that in mind if you are similar to my skin tone. I usually try and always leave that kind of information down below just so you guys can know, but leave me a comment if you have a question. If you have a favorite foundation that I might have as well, I can let you know what my shade is in that foundation too. I just use MAC because I feel like it's pretty well known. Shade range, this guy does come in 12 different shades. Again, not the best, but it is a new release, so hopefully within the next couple of months we see a few more shades come out into the collection. Revlon does claim that this is a full coverage 24-hour foundation. I feel like I hear that thrown around so much. So is it full coverage? It is definitely medium coverage off of one layer. So if you are to do one layer and add a little bit more in your problem areas, then I would say that it could get to that full coverage section. But for me, like, it's still showing some of my freckles and my beauty marks, which I personally like. But if you're somebody who doesn't like that, you might want to go in with two coats of the foundation, and then you would get more of a full coverage effect. Or you could try setting it with more of a powder foundation. I personally don't like doing that. I just think it's a little bit too heavy for me. But I think that this does have the potential to be a full coverage foundation, just not off your first coat. As for the 24 hours thing, like, I mean, it's so hard to tell. I wear my foundation sometimes up to 12 hours a day, and I feel like this one would really last on my skin. Of course, in my description, I always let you guys know how it wears throughout the day. I will wear it for the rest of today, and I will wear it again for the next couple of days before I edit this video. This video won't be going up for a few days, so I have some time to kind of do a little bit more reviewing before I upload. So I'll let you guys know my thoughts on it, on how it lasts, but I will never be able to truly speak to the 24-hour wear unless you are working like a crazy job that requires you up for like 15 hours at a time, or you're going out on the town for a really long night. I don't really see the value in having a foundation last that long. I think a good foundation that can last up to 8 to 10 hours is perfect. Maybe 12. 12 seems reasonable as well. 24 just seems like I just personally wouldn't want makeup on my face for that many hours at a time. Even my wedding, I don't even think I had foundation on for 12 hours at my wedding. I don't know, guys. 24 hours for a foundation, or any makeup in general, it just seems like it's a long time. But I will let you guys know if it lasts kind of my 10-hour mark, kind of thumbs up. This is a chatty video. That definitely does conclude this video, this chatty video. I really like this foundation. I'm super excited to keep trying it out this week and let you guys know down below how I feel about it further, but so far I'm really liking it. Looks great on the skin, it applies super easily, so I think it's a really great everyday foundation to add to your collection. Plus, it's drugstore. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and of course, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.